has hit the Hezbollah stronghold in South Beirut earlier today. Sources say that Israel's military has previously told residents to leave the area, specifying that it was about to strike targets linked to Hezbollah. The warning came amid escalating clashes between the Israeli military and the Iran-backed armed group, including recent fighting in the Lebanese town of Qayyam. Moreover, the Israeli military has also said it struck several Hezbollah targets across Lebanon on Wednesday, including rocket and missile launch sites south of Litani River. The strikes were targeting strategic military infrastructure, including a drone production facility. Hezbollah, for its part, has vowed to confront what it called Israeli-American aggression, declaring that it would not surrender despite the disparity in its military capabilities. Joining us again live, we have retired Colonel Sanjit Sirohi, who is an international relations and defence expert. Now, Colonel Sirohi, from a military standpoint, how does it create a different type of situation when you have a war here that is being fought on multiple different fronts, as opposed to a war along a single border like we're seeing between Pakistan and Afghanistan?
No, these types of war where you are fighting a number of fronts are very, very difficult for any country to fight. And in this present scenario, Israel is fighting against Iran, and they are also fighting against Hezbollah, and they are also being threatened by Hamas, although Hamas has been totally decimated. But some elements are still in Gaza, and then they are being threatened from Houthis, and they are also threatened from Hezbollah in Iraq. So I think it is very, very difficult situation for any country, and for that matter, Israel has been fighting for last 2 years plus. So, but Israel that way is absolutely clear what they want to achieve and what are their objectives. So, as anyone who threatens the security forces or the civilians of Israel, Israel is always there to hit them first. And same thing is happening in Lebanon also. When the Hezbollah, they try to fire rockets at the Israeli settlements in Israel, and immediately Israel retaliated. And now I think the situation is escalating day by day. And as a result of that, Israelis have asked the civilians to move out from at least 50 towns in southern Lebanon, because Israel wants to create a buffer zone between them and the Lebanon. So I think this is going to keep on going on, and at the same time, Israel is also fighting against Iran. So it is a multi-front war which Israel have been fighting, but Israel has been fighting since it got independence in 1948. So there is nothing new for Israelis to fight a number of fronts. Ruby.
Now, Colonel, Hezbollah is facing their own internal problems. They are currently being asked to demilitarize by the Lebanese government, as well as issues relating to their leadership and depleted resources from the Israel-Gaza war. How long do you see Hezbollah's efforts lasting in the Iran-Israel-US war? Could they potentially run out of supplies, as they have definitely relied on Iran for supplies in the past?
Yeah, of course, Ruby, if you see that Hezbollah were fighting along with Hamas when the war started on 7th October in 2023. So Hezbollah has also suffered a lot of casualties, especially in their leadership. And that's why there was a ceasefire. But now we have to understand it is not a normal war. There was a religious leader or a spiritual leader of Shia community, that is the one part of the Muslim community, and he has been eliminated by the Americans and the Israelis. So it is a war of it is a more of a religious war, which the Shias, they feel that it is the moral duty of each and every individual who is Shia to fight for the community, to fight for their spiritual leader. So I think this situation has totally changed. If Ayatollah Khamenei wouldn't have been killed, things would have been different. But after he has been killed in this attack which was carried out by the Americans and the Israelis, I think the total scenario has changed, and now whatever capabilities, whether it is with Hezbollah or with Hamas or Houthis, they are going to fight it out. They are going to fight it out to the last bullet, last missile, last rocket. And after that, once they have finished off with their ammunition, then nothing is going to happen. So it is not going to stop at the moment. They are going to fight until unless there is a peace talks between the Israelis and the Iranians and the Americans. Only then the Hezbollah will stop. Otherwise, Hezbollah, with the whatever resources they have, limited resources, they will keep on fighting. Ruby.
Now, Colonel, just on a point that you were making earlier, Iran, of course, has lost their supreme leader. Do they have anything to lose now? Will they keep fighting until they are completely depleted of resources, or could we see a return to negotiations between Iran and the United States? You mentioned that you thought that Hezbollah will probably keep fighting until their resources are depleted. Could we see the same situation with Iran?
Absolutely, Ruby. This same situation is going to be with Iran, because Iran, why should Iran talk now? Because they have got everything, whatever they had, they have already lost. Half of the country is totally devastated by the multiple strikes carried out by Americans and Israel. So I don't think the Iranians are going to surrender, or they are going to fight till all the resources are depleted, and then the boot on ground has to take place. Otherwise, the objective of the Israel and the Americans to change the regime is not going to be achieved, because so far they have not. The main objective of these strikes were to change the regime in the hope that once Ayatollah Khamenei has been killed, the protesters will gain the momentum, and the protest will gain the momentum, and this regime will be overthrown. But the successors have already been identified, and he is going to take over, and the interim war council is also functioning. So nothing has changed. So I think this will keep on going on till all the resources of Iran are depleted.
Colonel Sanjeet Sirohi, thank you so much for joining us today on the show, and